Hello, everybody, and welcome into your Lobo Coaches Show. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy, with the head football coach at the University of New Mexico, Jason Eck, who now has his first win as the Lobo head man. Congratulations, Coach.
Thanks, Rob. Good to get the first one.
Yeah, big one, too. And the way you did it, coming from behind in the fourth quarter, 15 unanswered to get it done. Pretty satisfying, I bet.
Yeah, I think you learn a little bit more out of your team when you have some adversity than you do if you would have just, beat that team by 30 points. And I really like the way we responded. There were some tough times in that game and some adversity, but we stuck together as a team and we played our best football down the stretch to get a win.
There was certainly some momentum for the program coming off a really solid performance in Ann Arbor against number 14 Michigan, and a big push from athletic director Fernando Lobo and head coach Jason Eck to generate enthusiasm. And you said the crowd was really there in the fourth quarter, wasn't it?
I really felt it the last couple series, on those third downs late in the game. I thought the crowd was really into it and made an impact to the game. And a good starting point. I heard it was the biggest crowd for an opening game in quite a few years, so hopefully we can keep building on that momentum.
Yeah, momentum. Now the Lobos are 1-1. How about some highlights from the first half? The Lobos in Idaho State. It's the home opener for 2025. And Coach, you guys came out pretty strong. Got a multi-score lead here early on in the first half.
Yeah, it was a great 3-and-out to start the game, which you always like to see on defense.
There's your son, Jason Eck. What a game he played, Coach.
He had a nice game, and this was a great play by David Murphy down here in the red zone. Good to see a guy from New Mexico, a guy who's got a lot of pride in being a Lobo, making a huge play for us.
A ball pops up in the air like that, you don't expect it. That's really good reactions and sure hands to go ahead and secure that and get a huge turnover.
Huge.
All right, so now you guys go on offense and you try to get Scottre Humphrey going here.
Yeah, it was good to see us run it 3 times backed up and get a first down.
So this is that coming out drill that you guys will work on in practice all the time to get off of your goal line. And then Dorian Thomas is just a matchup nightmare.
He's having an impact, even there getting the personal foul or the pass interference.
Now, what about this wheel route right here to Bankson? Big play.
Yeah, he really was a difference maker in this game with 2 big plays.
Yeah, he had a huge kick return. We'll see that coming up as well. And then the toughness of your quarterback, how about this, Coach?
That's great. To cap off a 98-play drive to take it himself and get down there close. Really a great play there by Jack.
Finishes, and you can see he's trying to make a decision, and then he's able to slice between the 2 defenders and find that little seam and use his physicality.
Great effort by him.
Okay, now back on defense, and I think you did a really nice job here in terms of red zone defense, didn't you, Coach?
Yeah, we allowed them in the red zone 4 times, but they only got a total of 12 points in those 4 trips to the red zone. So if you can only give up 3 points per possession, that's great. Now
you get downhill with Scottre Humphrey. What about this breakaway play right here?
Great to see the speed, and great job by the O-line. They had it blocked up so well that he was untouched.
I think Dontrell Moore, my broadcast partner, by the way, shares the jersey number 22 with Scottre. Said he could have taken a Denali through that hole right there. And you mentioned it to me way back when you said that you got him on the practice field for the first time, that Scottre's speed, it kind of surprised you, didn't it?
He has good speed. He can go.
Really nice play here by Murph on the edge to get the quarterback down and force 4th down.
Yep, it was a good job on this 3rd down. Third down's an area we got to keep getting better at, though, on defense.
Nice pursuit as well from Brett Carhu. And not a lot of work because of injury later on in the game, but Keegan Johnson making an impact early
nice
here.
Nice catch. We had to clean up our protection a little bit there.
And then this was a big play here in the first half.
Yeah, we had a nice drive going. We're driving to score. Great job by their guy of knocking it out. Great effort here by Day Buchanan getting the back down, because they had a convoy, if we didn't get them there. But good learning moment for Dorian, just with his ball security. Rather have the ball in the outside arm there, and we're going to get him the ball a lot, so he's got to be ready for it.
What'd you say to him right there, Coach?
Well, keep his head up. We got to move on. We got to reset. When you make a mistake, you can't dwell on it.
And there is your unbelievable All-American from a year ago at Idaho, Keyshawn James Newby, getting his hand up.
He was impactful. He put a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Didn't get any sacks, but definitely pressured him.
They did throw it a ton, Coach, and they were able to do some things out of that 4 wide receiver set.
Yeah, they got a good deal, and then they hit that big 3rd down conversion was huge, and then this play, I thought the guy got away with one a little push off there, but we're not going to be perfect as players and coaches, are not going to be perfect as officials. Nice play by him attacking the ball.
He certainly did push off on Abe there. Abe Williams in pretty good position right there, though, right? Nice coverage.
Yeah, he's got to be the initiator going up to get up before the other guy.
Now, here at the end of the first half, an opportunity, and gosh, this might even be a touchdown, but he can just get tackled.
Yeah, he gets knocked out of the game. And, this is that rule difference between NFL and college. In college, that's a great play. That guy's beat, and he tackles him, and it's only a 15-yard penalty. In the NFL, it's like a 45-yard penalty.
Right, it's not a spot foul in college, so he saves a touchdown, and it's just 15 yards. And then here at the finish of the half, a couple little things in protection?
Yeah, disappointed. We had 2 bad reps in protection there that we got to clean up and fix. So I was disappointed by those 2 plays. I thought overall our protection was better, but those 2 plays are unacceptable, and we got to get those cleaned up.
All right, so the Lobos take a 4-point lead into the break. We'll come back with second half highlights next on your Lobo Coaches Show. We're back on the Lobo Coaches Show with the head football coach at New Mexico, Jason Eck. So halftime, you're up 14-10 on Idaho State. What about the message at the break, at home for the first time with a lead?
Well, we kind of gave them an opportunity to get back in it with that last touchdown, and thought we could play better. Thought we could clean up some things, execute at a higher level in the second half, and there were definitely some things. We started a little slow, but we ended up executing better as the game went on. All
right, let's get into the second half highlights, and here we are with the kickoff, and this is a surprise onside.
Yeah, Coach Hawkins, this is a good call. He's trying to be aggressive, knowing they're the underdog, and really a great job by Aaron Smith. He was our special teams player of the game. Great recovery by him.
I love the way that you're coached up there. My goodness, nobody took their eye off the football or started to retreat, and he stood his ground and showed his hands. And I thought right there, DJ McKinney might make that guy miss.
Yeah, it was a good check down to get us in a position, and this is a good learning moment for Zael. They're in man coverage. Number 1, I thought really played well against us. Zael's got to come back to that ball a little harder in that situation.
Defensively, again, you guys doing what you need to do in the red area, and there he is, Keyshawn James Newby, one more time.
Really stifled him and held him to 3, which was a big, nice play here by Jackson running down the guy, and again, we were able to hold him to 3 even though we gave up some yards initially.
Where does Jackson's motor come from, Coach? 15 tackles. He's just flying all over the field all the time. It's nonstop.
He's very self-motivated. He's a very disciplined, self-motivated guy, and very pleased with the way he played.
I think the genes might be pretty good as well there. So their field goal kicker had a big day, and now you guys are trailing here in the second half, and this was a massive play as well.
Yeah, this was huge to get a big return. Again, DeMond had those 2 explosive plays with the long catch in this one. There's a few things we can clean up and might be able to take that one to the house, but huge return to set up a score.
So now you're in plus territory, and I just feel like the decision-making, when to go, when to throw, Jack's just got a great feel out there.
He did a good job. He did a very nice job, and here we hit a big play here. We need Scottre to make that safety miss and take that all the way to the house rather than a 9.
A lot of the Wildcat formation in this game.
Yeah, it's just a good way with Jack not being a big runner, another way to get the ball in the hands of our guys.
And here it is again down in goal-to-go territory, and I know you'd have loved to punch it in here.
Yeah, I was disappointed. We gave the O-line 3 shots. Those, first and goal in the 9 is a tough one to convert, but we gave the O-line and the backs three shots and still had to kick a field goal.
Luke Drizwicki converts. Driz is now top 5 in field goals in Lobo history and top 10 in scoring in Lobo history, and that's a nice effort by their back to get to the goal line.
Yeah, we had to do a little better job with our contain there. We had an interior blitz. I thought this was a huge play, though, stopping the 2-point conversion. You can't get too dejected when you give up that score.
Abe in perfect position right there. That was a very big play, and now Dorian Thomas on this drive was enormous.
Really a good call by Coach Slice. That's a really good play that's off of some run plays we had done. Good job getting to it by Coach Slice.
And here, a little PI, and Zael Smith, he's starting to make an impact as a true freshman.
Yep, did a nice job there, and then really a hard run here on 4th and 1 to pick up a first down there. It was close. We got it by a whisker, but a really good run there by Scottre.
Massive conversion inside the opponent's 30-yard line, and it took every bit of that effort there at the finish to get across the line to gain.
Yeah, he did not get it initially. It was a second effort.
And then here, just fantastic. You get single coverage with Dorian Thomas, throw it up to him.
Yeah, this was really a good design by Coach Slice. We put him as the single receiver there and got him man-to-man on a safety, which was a good matchup for the Lobos.
And then a little downhill right here and a New Mexico touchdown. That's Bankston with the go-ahead TD.
Yeah, great job by DeMond, and then our 2-point play. Not exactly how you draw it up, a little improvisation there by Jack and Dorian, but a great job finishing this off. It was not quite how you draw it up, but it counts.
Unbelievable. I'm not sure that initially he knew the ball was coming to him, and DT's able to look up and snatch it out of the sky. This was a massive 3-and-out, and Frankie Edwards with the great defensive play.
Frankie really did a good job. You know, he was a little nicked up after that Michigan game and didn't practice a ton last week, but he's a good football player. He played very well.
Sure-handed tackle, and now this is that 4-minute drill we like to talk about, Coach. DJ McKinney got it going with a big run there.
DJ's a good football player. I thought he really ran hard and made an impact in the game.
And you talked about the protection on this play being so critical.
Yeah, this took a long time to develop, but good job by the O-line, good job by Jack extending the play, and Zael getting the first down.
And then bouncing it outside, Bankston with another big hit, and you guys are down in the red zone and a chance to put this game away.
Yeah, good job by the O-line, kind of taking over at the end of the game, running it in there. Richard Pierce had a really good game for us up front, and good job by Scottre.
Scottre finishes with 141 yards rushing, the big 61-yard touchdown right there. That was the game-clinching score. And then I thought defensively, when you knew they had to throw it here at the finish, you guys did a tremendous job.
Yeah, great effort here down the stretch to finish it. And again, really, really pleased by these last two series to go a 3-and-out and a 4-and-out by our defense.
Look at the number of silver helmets flying to that football, Coach.
No, impressive. I thought the effort was really good this last series.
And the favorite formation in all of football right here, the victory formation, your first time at University Stadium. What did it feel like down there?
Good feeling. Good to get a win, and you want those fans to enjoy their time when they came over to University Stadium. So, good win.
Nearly 18,000 at University Stadium for the home opener, and New Mexico gets its first W. And I'm sure a lot of stuff on that tape to teach about, with your guys as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have a win where we have some things we have to clean up than a loss where you do some good things. This business is about winning, and winning what gets you to bowl games and things like that. There's no more victory, so it's good to get our first victory, and now on to UCLA.
Did you feel like your offensive line performed better this week?
I think they did take a step forward. I still think we had a few things to clean up. I didn't like those 2 sacks in the 2-minute drill, but it was good to see us get the run game going. And you see some of those plays where we're getting Scottre on the safety. He's on touch, so that's a really good job up front.
All right, we're going to come back after the break. We'll talk with Scottre Humphrey, Lobo running back. That's next on your Lobo Coaches Show. The Lobo Coaches Show is presented by Green Summit Landscape Management. Welcome back into your Lobo Coaches Show. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy, with star running back Scottre Humphrey of the 2025 New Mexico Lobos. Scotty, it's great to be with you, man. How you doing today?
Doing good. Truly blessed.
Blessed indeed after 141 yards, a breakout performance, your best one as a Lobo through 2 games. Just tell me what the feeling was like.
It's pretty special, man, to get that first win under our belt. This means a lot.
Huge win, Coach Eck's first win. I know you guys desperately wanted to do that for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great coach, you know what I'm saying? So each play out there, we're trying to fight for him. So
Scottre's had some good games in Albuquerque before. It was actually for the other team. It was the opener of the 24 season. You're with Montana State. You went for 140. You got 1 more yard for the Lobos this year. Incredible.
Yeah, crazy. I didn't know it was exactly, it was so close in the stats, but it's great to be a Lobo this time.
How about the 61-yard touchdown run? Let's take a peek at some of the highlights from the game, and maybe you can take us through what happened here. It looked like a pretty big hole for you, Scott.
Yeah, a truck could run through that, you know what I'm saying? So the offensive line blocked it up very well, you know what I'm saying? Slowed it through.
Put a foot down, beat the safety. Nobody's catching you, right?
Can't let the safety catch me when the hole's that big.
Now, you guys started to get the run game going, especially in the second half. You had that big run in the first half, but I thought you guys warmed down a little bit in the second half.
Yeah, the rotation that coach is doing is very well. I like the way he does it. He keeps a fresh back in there every time, so I love the rotation, the way coach has it. Coach Johnson doing a great job.
And that was the clinching touchdown. You guys went up at that point by 2 scores in the fourth quarter. That had to feel awesome.
Yeah, much needed one.
Talk about that rotation again, because with Day-Day Buchanan, Damon Bankston, and of course you, and then throw in DJ McKinney, you guys, that's a 4-headed monster right there.
Yeah, I mean, the Lobo Nation, we're very lucky. We have 4 top running backs in the running back room. I feel like each one of the running backs could start on any team in the Mountain West. You know what I'm saying? So to have all 4 of those running backs in the same room, it's gonna be a special year.
Pretty crazy. They've come to be nicknamed the Rushmore 4, and of course that group, each one of them, led a different team in rushing last season. Now you're here in Albuquerque together. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's special, man. It's just to go to show how Coach Eck does his recruiting and how much we all trust him.
And I bet you guys push each other too, don't you?
Yeah, push each other every day. We all want to see each other go crazy in the game. So today was my day. I mean, Saturday was my day. Next game could be anybody's day in the running back room.
Well, it's been a friend of Scottre's day both days so far this year. That would be Dorian Thomas. How far back do you and the Lobo Star tight end go?
I mean, we've been playing in Little League against each other for a long time, man. So pretty much like the sandbox. We've been playing against each other. High school, we played against each other. I mean, I got the best of them in high school. But we played against each other so much, man. So much love for that guy. He was another reason why I really came here. I mean, on my visit, when I got to see him and see that he already committed, it was just like, you know what I'm saying, just seeing a familiar face kind of like drove me to, like, you know what I'm saying, have that little edge of just knowing where I want to be.
Made it feel like family.
It made it feel like home, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. 2 buddies from the Seattle area. How close did you guys live to each other?
Maybe 15 minutes, really. It was really close. You know, I could probably walk there.
No kidding. And you guys have been tight ever since?
Ever since, yeah.
Did you guys ever get to play with each other before this year as Lobos?
No, we never played with each other. This is the first time we're ever playing with each other, and this, hopefully it's going. You guys can see it's going well.
So you've been lined up against each other all this time?
The whole time going against each other.
Starting to show out as Lobos together?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
All right. Scottre Humphrey, our guest. When we come back, Coach Eck joins us to close it out on your Lobo Coaches Show. We're back to close it out with the head football coach at New Mexico, Jason Eck. And Coach Eck, it's time for our Nusenda Credit Union question of the week. It's from Joe in Missouri. Coach, if you had to pick one play from Saturday that changed the game for UNM, what play would you choose?
I think it was a play we just saw, Rob. I think it was the first play on offense after we got down 5 in the fourth quarter. We ran that little double move to Dorian up the seam. It was about a 25-yard gain. And I think that, just kind of turned the momentum back to us right away, and then we had a great touchdown drive.
He showed his toughness on that play, too, because there were 3 guys that converged on him. He lost his helmet. And
he's still fighting.
Yeah, he was still fighting. Okay, speaking of the fight, it's a big one for you. The Rose Bowl, Friday Night Lights, UCLA, Power 4 school out of the Big Ten. Another unbelievable opportunity for your team coming up.
Yeah, awesome. We're playing in one of the historic venues in college football at the Rose Bowl. I have good memories of having been there as a student athlete and as a coach. You're playing a team. They got a great quarterback, Nico, who helped lead Tennessee to the CFP last year. A lot of talent on both sides of the line of scrimmage. I think their O-line and D-line is good. It's a very big D-line. They have a great running back who we actually coached at Idaho, Coach Slice and Coach Booth and I, Anthony Wood. So it's going to be a great challenge for our team. But, these Friday night games are fun. There's a lot of exposure when you're one of the only games on TV.
Quickly, do you share that experience winning a Rose Bowl in that building with your team?
I've won 2 Rose Bowls in that building, once as a player and once as a graduate assistant. So I'm 3-0 in the Rose Bowl. Hopefully we can keep it that way.
Coach, unbelievable chance to go play UCLA in one of the most historic venues in all of college football. I know Lobo Nation can't wait for it, and I know your team's going to be really excited.
No, we'll be fired up, ready to go.
All right, for Jason Eck, the head football coach at the University of New Mexico, and Chase Christensen, our broadcast director, the director of communications is Frank Mercagliano. I'm Robert Portnoy. That is the Green Summit Landscape Management Lobo Coaches Show. So long, everybody. Go Lobos.